your friendly Master Monkey again. Got another special edition coming up. I'm actually behind schedule on picking out a new PC because my other PC's dead. I'm going to fill you on some details on that and why in hell I'm using Ironside, which surely tick off a lot of you people. I know, bring it on. You're going to be all, why aren't you building it? As a kid, I built my own 5150, 8088, 80286, 80386. I stopped after the 486s, and man, I just don't have time for this. So stay tuned. I'm going to shut down that background music, and then we'll get on with the show. Okay, cool. Might do some coding later. I've been doing that a lot recently, and on the screen. If you've been paying attention to that, the new panel system is now in charge. So if you were watching that last time, finally got that going, and the text that you now see on the screen is now arbitrated by the panel system, which is really easy to implement new content for. Sorry, I had to go all the way to the other side of the room to adjust a screen so I could see it. Okay, so anyways, right on. I guess you see, do you see? I think you probably see on my screen there. See, so I can't really check, but so we're at Ironside. Yeah, we're at Ironside. IronsideComputers.com. It was not a sponsor or anything like that. I just do not have the time to build another one. My yes, I'm serious. I mean, Alienware ALX OG 2008 version with SLI on 2 AGP slots. Yeah, I'm serious. AGP slots. And let's see. God, it's like an I. Let's get the specs. Anyways, the thing just keeps like crashing all the time. It's like overheating and some stuff. And I'm like taking every measure I can and pretty much gone as far as I can. Basically, take it as far as I can take it. Let's see what we're running on here. Anyways, I looked it up before already, and it's like $7 processor at this point. We're running on a from 2009 Intel Core 2. No, not an i7, just a Core 2. Just Core 2. You just stop right there. Not I nothing. It's just Core 2. Intel Core 2 Quad CPU Q6600. Yes, a Q6600. Running at 2.4 gigahertz. It is 4 cores, you know. I mean, so that's cool. But yeah, it's like super slow. But I mean, I run Linux, you know, as you can see. So there's a couple of implications of that, and I can't actually see. Give me another second. I have to move the screen because if somebody chats, I can't even see. I have no way of seeing what's going on the screen. It's like it's a bummer. So give me a second here. I'm gonna check that out. And thanks for tuning in. Actually, I might put some music up too. Actually, so you don't have to just listen to me. Okay, yeah, see, that way I can see the screen if one of y'all's chats or something. Honestly, I mostly get replay traffic, if at all. Okay, alright, so anyways, 2009, so I started taking a look at it, and I'm like, why the heck is this thing overheating? One of the chassis fans is down, so I like dropped in another fan, and I just mounted it all ghetto on the side. I should show you guys the pictures. It's pretty crazy, but but it's like cold as shit in there now. But anyways, that fan still doesn't turn on. What happens is when it reaches a certain temperature, when the board reaches a certain temperature, that it goes to turn on the fan. I've already set the settings as high as is safe. When it goes to turn on the fan doesn't turn on, which is fine, but for some reason, like, it spazzes out right there. Anyways, I checked out the power circuit that's leading up to that connection for the case fan, for that rail, that power rail, and I traced it back just a little bit on the board, and lo and behold, there's like a 650 microfarad capacitor right there, electrolytic capacitor with, that's, expanding. It's expanding out of its can. It looks like a little tiny, one of those little tiny rolls of like a frozen, dinner rolls, when you have it just a little bit open and then the rest of it spurts out. Yeah, it's looking a little bit like that. So it's like coming literally out of the can. Like, shit, I could dig in. I started poking around, I got my magnifying goggles on. I'm looking at it. I'm like, shit, like, I could. No Lewis Rossman, but this is doable. It's just like, geez, what's the point? We're talking about a $7 processor. It's 2009 machine. So I started looking around. Man, shit's a lot cheaper than it used to be. And yeah, I did spec some stuff out on Newegg and all that. I even considered the sleeper. I actually kind of like the case. I want to drop some stuff in the case. But man, I got stuff I'm supposed to be working on. I'm working on this bot here, and this some other stuff. So, I'm building a PC from scratch. Plus, as you can see when the camera's up, I got 2.5 3D printers I'm working on too. So, an upgrade for the printer bot and the rest of the smart rep wrap printer, and also a Tantalus rep wrap printer. And a printer bot. A smaller printer bot. What do they call this? The small printer bot. I forgot what that's called. Anyways, a bunch of other stuff. I do not have time to take on a project to build a PC from scratch. As fun as it seems right now, wow, it's like a fun time, especially like digging through whether you're going to go Ryzen or Intel right now, right? So, pretty crazy. Anyways, as I mentioned, Linux guy over here. It'd be nice to have a copy of Windows, because the streaming box, which I intend to get rid of anyways, it should be streaming right out of the Raspberry Pi, which is getting a little difficult, but that's another story. The streaming box, I'd like to replace that. It's a Lenovo laptop, and I might just turn the laptop into my work thing, but it's got to run Windows because it runs OBS, and despite they say OBS runs on Linux, it kind of doesn't really. And plus, you got very little GPU support under Linux. It's just not there yet for that. Streaming on Linux is just not a good world. So, anyways, but for my systems on which I do all of the work, all of it, I do some Android stuff, and everything else I do too. For my career, it's all Linux. So here's one thing you can do if you're like that. You can go to say somewhere like this, Ironside computers, and I'm looking at their Slate, for example, which I pre-configured home office build or whatever, and you can build it all from scratch too, which we're going to take a look at that probably, because I've already got that open and halfway done a couple of different versions. I'm looking at a $500 budget or anything. So you see this $800, right? Yeah, but you can go in here, and if you're me, you can go in here and first off drop the Windows operating system, so that'll save you $100 right there. And this graphics card, I don't actually need it. Now in this build, I don't have the option of removing it, so this build, I probably, I might, crib off of their notes or whatever, but 8 gigs of RAM is nice, but actually I could get by with 4 for now. So I don't know if I pointed this out, but I'm not a gamer, and the bling would be nice, and all other kind of stuff would be nice too, but like I said, I'm working on a $500 budget here, and I got priorities. Now, I do have a couple of drives, but I think, like I said, I think I might want to keep or retrofit or maybe refit this, the current Linux box. It's just really hard for me to throw a box away. Do you guys want? It's really hard to throw a motherboard away. So I could yank the storage completely. I do have like a couple of drives, so I could do that. I'm not going to downgrade the power supply or whatever. It's down to 600. Yeah, well, okay, so I can't really fit the Slate build as is, but I could if I could drop the video card. So, you know, for that, you go over to this, you know, like completely custom build. But also, I have tried that with some other ones too, like, see, the Spectre. If you like their build for the most part, but you're a Linux guy or something, go in here and go to components. See, we'll drop the, oh, I already dropped the 4 gig down to that. I don't have the option of yanking the video card, but I can take this out. I'll take $100 off for the OS. And anything else here I can get rid of? Anything that I can do without. Oh, you know what it is this thing has a built-in coolant. Actually, I'd really like to go SSD. So I've even, like, in a couple of cases, I've like yanked out a bunch of other stuff and then put in a cheap SSD instead. So there you go, $5.99, almost down to that. I think this thing has liquid cooling or something, and I just don't need that. So actually, I think I could probably drop that down further. So, or let's see. They've got their 2 versions of their Intel build, the Enthusiast build and the regular Intel build. There's no way I could get their Enthusiast build in. And yes, we could build this all from scratch. Or I might just start with their build and then pare it down to what I'm after, and then like use that as a template, you know. So I mean, this is all built out of their inventory, and you can make anything you want really out of it. So yeah, grunt. No, we don't like the grunt. But, as I said, I'm not a gamer. Not here for the gaming. Here for the compiling. I mean, it'd be nice to do, like, VR stuff later. Maybe, or some 3D modeling, that kind of stuff. And obviously, like, I'm working on 3D stuff. So, but it's not gaming 3D stuff. I don't need, you know, I'm not running, you know, not running down hallways at 60 FPS or something, 1080. So, well, let's take a look at their, oh, they already changed their PC of the month. That's cool. Let us take a look at their, signature desktops, as they call them. Anyways, they're done with Spectre. The build of the month is now Nova. Alright, see what that is. You see how slow this loads? I told you this machine is from 2009. Crappity crap, it's already out of stock and it's $1,000, so who cares? I don't think I can cut that down anyways. Okay, so we get this, like, we get the imp. I think I've been able to cut that down in the minion and grunt. Actually, I'm not sure about the imp. Hey, the minion, I think I can cut it down. So, how you guys doing? I've been trying to do these kind of shows, you know, see if I can make it more interesting. It's not working so far. So I figured I tell you all that I'm buying a PC from Builder, and then everybody could go, "You peasant." Anyways, I don't have to take that shit from any of you people. I was building these things a long time ago. Later on, if you decide you don't want to care anymore, you have the option of not caring anymore. That was the kind of, oh, they spec'd this one with an SSD right out of the gate. I like that. That was a good design there. Oh, Windows, I'm going to drop that. It takes off under there. And why am I running ANSI animation back here? Let's see. So let's do the 699. I can't drop the radio, but I might just use this as a, you know, as a guide, sort of like a template. I like the SSD. See, SSD is really good for someone who's going to compile a bunch of crap. So, or I could just buy this thing on spec at how they already said it, the grunt. I think. I'm gonna like a second level. I think they've upgraded the motherboard in the second level, or sometimes the secondary storage. Fight for the king of the forest. Hey, yay! Yes, I am dropping down to 4 gigs because you know what? I can get more RAM later, and it'll be cheaper. It's always cheaper later. And 4 gig is enough to get me started because I'm not running Windows. And Linux does an extremely good job with very tight memory requirements, surprisingly tight memory requirements. Alright, you know, I'm going to drop the drive, and then if I have room to add it back later, I don't think I will. 524. Oh, I forgot to drop Windows. Yeah, okay, I can have a drive. Cool. Alright, so I got like $70 for a drive. A driver RAM. Driver an SSD. Come on. Very stupid. Get an SSD. Shit. $100. I need a $70 SSD. Sometimes the microphone goes crazy. Ah, I found it. 120 gig Ironside Titanium Series SSD. This is not enough for all my assets, you know, programming assets and shit like that. Which it's huge. I mean, trust me, like, especially once you got a bunch of different applications, Android stuff. Like, God, I swear, like a single application, the application itself, the deliverable is quite small. You know, it can be quite small, but all the like meta files and all this crap, it's insane. Huge. 489. Awesome. Okay, so 489. I'm getting. I mean, if we go here, so. If this is where I go, I'm getting really, I gotta tell you, pretty freaking ugly. It's pretty freaking ugly. Grunt case. Mind you, my machine's overheating all the time, so there's like a time constraint on this. I've been putting this off for weeks. I'm like, I can't decide, build or buy. But I really wanted to build just for the fun of it. But I do not have the time. Okay. This will get me the ugly purple case. No fancy wiring. Hey, you know what? Actually, I might be able to fit in a wiring mod. How much is that? $25? $25 for purple lighting. Well, if I find something more useful for $25, otherwise, I'm gonna get purple lighting or purple wiring. Okay, I get the ugly purple case. Ugly as shit. We'll take a look at it, so we can all complain about it together. What's this faction thing? Hey, if you had $60, you get, what else do you get? What do you get? More fans? Just LED fans. More bling. That's not worth it. If I'm gonna go $60, I'll upgrade my RAM. In fact, can I upgrade my RAM for, how much is the RAM? Alright, I'm not finishing. Okay, grunt case. Purple. Ugly. No special lighting, no special wiring. Pentium G4400 3 point. A Pentium? Shit, man. How much do I have to add? Pentium. Oh, 155 to get the Core i5. It's 7400. I'm gonna go back in there and see what other shit I can drop. Over budget now by $150. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because I can't drop the video card. This it's my fault. I'm just gonna have to use this as a template. I don't want that video card. I'm not gonna pay for that video card. There's no freaking way. I can get by with I mean, I don't need it yet. So if I decide to start doing VR stuff later, I'll buy a full-on NVIDIA VR rig with the amp and everything. But hey, this minion seems pretty cool. Spec'd out. What do they got? Starts with the minion case in black or white. Don't be a fool. Get black. You're gonna regret it later if you don't. Okay. Oh, for this price I get a Ryzen quad core 3.1. Yeah, I know. I'm going out on a limb a bit. if you do that. The motherboard will only, this is an A320 chipset motherboard. It will only do 2 sticks. You know, they don't tell you who, do they? Which motherboard is this? I'm like, exactly which one is this? You don't know. It's an A320 chipset motherboard. Next step is a B350 chipset motherboard. It's $25 more. So oh wait, what's the specs on this? What's the difference? What a king, no specs on that. So what else? We're going to end up going all the way to the build thing, huh? So you know I'm going to cut the RAM down to 4 gigs. You know, on one build that I did, I ended up getting 4 gigs of this white LED RAM. I felt so guilty. It was like the only time in my life I've ever done something like that about something that was purely blingy. I mean, obviously, it's RAM, but you don't need RAM that, like, flashes. You don't need that. Ooh, secondary drive is bigger than I need. It's a terabyte. I don't need that much. I'm just going to get a, it's even a step up for that. Alright, I don't know if I took Windows out yet. I already did. No operating system. And it's 674. How did I end up going up? Didn't we start this out where I was already on the budget? I think I upgraded. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Hey, I can downgrade the CPU. Octa-core, quad-core, octa-core. 3.3, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 3, Ryzen 7. No, I can't downgrade the CPU. As far as that goes. I'm gonna have to go all the way to the build thing. It's just gonna slow me down, man. Oh, there's a secondary drive here. I don't need that. What the hell? How much does that cost? A bunch. 609. I'm at 609. Almost there. Who would? Oh, I thought it was like downgrade your power supply. Don't downgrade your power supply. You're gonna need that. Your power supply is something you're gonna need. I'm gonna have to spec this myself so I can drop the video card, and this one as well. They both have the video card. How come all of these start at less than my budget, and I end up going over my budget? It's really funny. I'm doing that. No one's out there listening anyways. Are you out there? Hey, is anybody this imp case is kind of ugly. It almost makes me want to go do the, drop straight to the custom config right away. It's like, man, that thing is ugly. But they give me a 1 terabyte SSD. I'd rather have a 120 gig SSD. What did I put in this? 120 gig SSD. 644. Yeah, I know I could do this all from scratch, but trust me, when you go to the custom build thing, man, that is when you really get lost. You will be in there for a while. Oh, I was working on the imp here. Okay. I just want to see, like, what if you take their spec and just, like, tweak it? Because I like the packages they're putting together. It's really cool. They do good work in terms of configuring their stuff. Alright, I got 579. What can I drop? Video card. Integrated graphics. Imp, here I come. Oh, look, it's 434. I know you guys are gamers out there, so you're like, put the video card back. But no, that's not what I need, actually. I'm programmer. Hold on. I'm sorry, someone was having a bad dream. That happens. Okay, so I got a Wi-Fi Bluetooth combo here. I don't need that. But I can't take it off of this build anyways. Yeah, Linux box has a DVD drive. I could just move that over. Where should I put it? Bling? Nah. I have like a shit. I have like a pile of RGBs here anyways. Not these things, but other crap. I don't really need that. It's fun though. I think that's cool. I mean, I like the way the machines all look really cool nowadays. I'd really like to make a sleeper, you know, in that crappy old. Okay, I'd like to double the RAM actually. Yeah, I'd like to double the RAM. Also, I think my screen is dying. I have a theory that it's sort of a combination of the screen and the wow, look at all these screens you get to choose from. These are all better than mine. All my shit's like 9 years old. 6 years old. My whole rig here is, except for the Raspberry Pis, obviously. So, well, monitor is. You know, I think I'd rather buy a monitor in person, anyways. You kind of got to see them with your eyeballs, huh? I mean, it's you can't tell by looking, you know, at a picture of it, because you're like looking at the picture on another monitor, obviously. All right, I got $70. CPU or RAM? That's a stupid question, huh? CPU. I know. Why did I even ask that? What a dumb question, monkey. All right, without going out on a limb, I can just throw in the extra 20 and get up to the. That's just a slight CPU speed upgrade, isn't it? Between the 4560 and the 4460, 4400 and 4560. It's just a slight CPU speed increase, right? 2 cores, 4 threads, 3.5. 3 cache 8 on the bus, and this we get 2 cores, 4. Oh really? I get 4 threads? $20? I get 2 more threads? Fuck yeah! What is that? Oh, sorry. Beep 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 beep. I just cussed on the air. 454. I could still afford to upgrade my RAM, or I could buy some blingy RAM. I don't know why I would do that. I thought I should buy them in sets, right? Oh no, if I get an 8, then I can put in another 8 later, right? But I couldn't put in a 4 generally, so now if I put in the blingy byte 8 gigabyte RGB, it's a $519. Why would I put why RGB? So stupid, you can't even see in this case. Shut up, monkey. Alright, I'm just gonna get 8 gigs of non-blingy RAM. We get a choice between DDR4 and what the frack? Oh, I get it. I can get 2 4s or I can get an 8. Does that matter? I mean, it kind of doesn't matter, huh? Because I can have an 8, right? And then add an 8 later. But if we had 2 4s, and I gotta do something like, what am I gonna do with these 4s? Since I don't have any other, literally have no other equipment that can use them. I think I just put one 8 in there, right? Yeah, that's what I want. A single 8. $494. I don't know, man, though, this case is freaking butt ugly. How did I keep the case? And I see I'm going back to building my own here. Alright, so, okay, so there's that. There's the imp. It's already spec'd out. Worst case scenario, I'll just get that. I could get a minion minus the card. I could get a grunt minus the card. haven't really played with the Intel enthusiast or Intel build yet. Let's start with that. I'll finally get around to playing that. And the Slate build is intriguing as well. That's an i5 7400 3 gigahertz quad core. And 4 gigs and 20. It's the graphics card. It's where the money's going. And I don't need it. Tell you the truth, I like the case. It's like no bullshit case. Somebody had a bad dream, so I like running. Oh crap! Look, insufficient stock processor. Fuck me. God dang it. Insufficient stock on the processor. Well, yeah, if everybody wants a $20 processor upgrade. The next step up is, oh, this is a Pentium. I could try to figure out. I don't want a Pentium. I want an i7. Yes, I know, I'm just whining. Pentium's perfectly good. It's just perfectly good for a few more years. No, man, actually what I really want is a Ryzen. I'd rather have a Ryzen, but I just dig it. I dig it. I'm sold. I'm on the bandwagon, man. So, should we just go to Forge a PC and build our own AMD-based or spec our own AMD-based system? Stay tuned to this bat station to see what happens. Oh, hey, what the? My video stream is stopped. Is it stopped? Is it still running? Oh, no, it's running. Is it running? I don't know. What the hell is going on here? Oh man, my frame rate's like all jacked up. Why is that? I don't know what's going on there. That's news. So yeah, over here everything's much faster. Alright, anyways, on to part 2 of this saga. Speccing out an AMD-based Ryzen-based machine within the $500 budget at Ironside Computers. No, we're not going to build our own. I don't have time, man. I didn't have time to do this. Like, I'm surprised I didn't just buy the first one that was $500 because I just do not have time. But when it showed up with a GPU that is not supported under Linux, I'd be like, what am I going to do with this $250 video card that I don't need? By the way, my old rig, it had like a dual SLI NVIDIA cards and stuff. It was way rad. I was waiting to 3D. We're having that virtual worlds stuff. We're talking like 2005, 2000 to 2009 maybe. But that's way back during the Windows XP days. So I'm not even using that SLI right now. This is all been converted to Linux, and it runs, runs much faster under that actually. Probably the only reason it's still actually useful. See, actually quite peppy, considering how ancient the poor thing is. Okay, so quick break, and then we're going to continue this saga of replacing the PC. Thanks for tuning in. BRB. I forgot to play music like I said I would. So, what's everybody up to? Man, what's this with my screen? It's like not, like literally not moving, right? Freaky. Hold on, man, I gotta go fix something over here. How's that better, huh? Yeah, you know, so like I think the machine I'm using for streaming isn't actually very good for streaming. It's just a cheap laptop I was able, like the cheapest laptop I was able to afford at the time. And being that a laptop really has no proper 3D capabilities, GPU capabilities, is probably not a good idea. So I'm kind of like thinking, you know, if I go Ryzen, right, and like I build a system that I can get it to run the streaming and I move the streaming over to it temporarily, then I can use my laptop as a workstation until I move the streaming onto the Raspberry Pi, and then I'll have a cool AMD box. And in the meantime, I'd have a cool AMD box for streaming with the multiple core thing, and you know, they got that on-chip streaming functionality features that they claim to have. Looks pretty compelling, actually, from what I've seen. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix the stream here, figure out what's wrong with the damn thing. What is wrong with my stream? What is wrong with my internet, is it? Nope. It's all normal here. But, I'm not getting my videos out there. Well, I should be back, and I just like had to stop OBS and start it again. It's so stupid, I'm telling you, the thing is stupid. It is literally the worst piece of software I've ever, probably the worst piece of software I've ever used. Okay, well, I like their Ryzen spec. It's called the Minion here, and the imp is a Ryzen 2, right? Is also, or no, it's not. Okay, only the, what's this? The, yeah, right, this is their AMD build, 729. I can't really cut that down far enough. What was their workstation build? Is an i7, it's a 7400. Alright, well, I like the Minion build, okay? So I'm going to use this as a base, basically. Now we're building our own AMD based machine. It's going to be hella cool, and it's going to be really nifty. Oh, I get it. Okay, alright, so they just like set up this as the basic AMD. Alright. So, we're going to do the standard thing. Go through, drop Windows, don't need it. Bam, $100. For the moment, I'm going to just drop straight down to onboard. Oh, frack, it's Ryzen. You need a video card. Alright, $20 video card. Wow, they even have a $20 video card. That's amazing. Oh, it's cheaper. There's a free one. It's the RX. Is it just free? Let's see here. Oh, I'd love a capture card. I just cannot afford a capture card. As I said, this is a replacement for a machine that's on its last leg. I mean, it could completely go anytime, and this is the only machine I have, really. The one you're looking at right now. Anyways, if you do tune into this now or on the replays, thanks a lot for doing that. And sorry about the beginning where like the video wasn't moving and I didn't even know. Wait, how does this go down even further? 45 bucks if I go to GT 730. Oh, it's because I have all of the choices. And there is a lot of cheap video cards. Yeah. I don't know if I have any PCI Express video cards in my junk pile. I don't think so. I got some HP, I got some PCI, like actual PCI. I know you guys are like, get a good video card. I'm not a gamer. Programmer. That's what I'm here for. So let's see. That's 584. I gotta drop 80 bucks. Pretty sure I can do that with half the RAM. And Linux does real well on 4 gigs. It'll do just fine. I'll be happy as a clam on 4 gigs. And that still means I can add a pretty cheap 4 gig stick later, although obviously I'd have to dump that to go any further. 544. And the drive. Okay. I really just want the 120 gig SD. It's $15 more than the 1 terabyte? How'd that happen? I went up. Ironside titanium. Ironside. What? Did they make their own drive? That's weird. Kind of weird. I could go no storage. Add my own. I really want SSD, man. For the compile time. And I'm gonna regret it if I don't. What is it? What are we talking about here? 50 bucks. Won't have no money for bling, that's for sure. Or fancy cooling. Actually, which is really where I should throw my money is fancy cooling. Not bling cooling, just like good cooling. That's it. That's everything I can drop. But I'd get a Ryzen 5 1400 quad core, 3.2 gigahertz. Oh. Okay, look, I can drop down to the 1200, 3.1 gigahertz quad core. Oh, it's alright. That's the difference between a Ryzen 3 and a Ryzen 5. And man, save $20 to drop from Ryzen 3 4 cores and 8 threads versus it's 4 cores and 4 threads, right? Isn't it? On the Ryzen 3. And we're gonna find out. Oh man, see, it's like locked up. Oh man, it might lock up. Okay, good. It locks up, I'm telling you, man, it might lock up completely. 4 cores, 4 threads, 3.1 gigahertz versus 4 cores and 8 threads. Wait, is that right? I don't want to do that. Yes, my machine really is this slow. I told you, 2009. 4 cores, 4 threads on a Ryzen 3. On a Ryzen 5, 4 cores, 8 threads, right? Machine's so slow. 4 cores, 8 threads. Yeah. It's $70 difference. 8 threads. 8 threads. 8 threads. There's some way I can do this. I'm gonna keep those 4 threads. I'm 60 bucks over budget. Nope. Nothing else I can get. Is there a cheaper case? Let's see here. There's a lot of cases, that's for sure. They have all the cases. Okay, by default they set you up with an Arrow 300. I think they set you up with the cheapest in each case, actually. Or you can get that Raid Max one, which I gotta tell you is so cyber. Obviously that's not a compliment, being cyber. Nope, that's the most affordable case here, and it's a good one. I've seen a lot of air, you know, for the price. It's pretty good. $60. I guess $60 it changes the whole dynamic. Don't drop the motherboard, huh? Alright, well something's gotta give. Graphics card. Don't skip on the power supply. Does this motherboard have any onboard video at all? It's an MSI A320 Pro VD. 2 sticks memory maximum. Actually, I should put a little money into the motherboard. That's all I know. That's all I know. I have to go look this up. Pro VD Plus. Spec plays Ironside specs, but they usually have everything. I mean, they do a really good job. Holy frack, look at the size of this Asus Prime B350M. That is one fat son of a bitch. $25 up, I get Gigabyte GA AB350M HD3. Alright, MSA A320M. I prefer to read the new egg sheet anyways. No, you can't know anything. You're never allowed to know anything. Don't let them know anything. They don't need to know anything. I need the rest of the details on this Mobo. On the Mobo. Mobo. Supported by only by CPU with integrated graphic. I don't know what that means, and I'm afraid it might be getting a little out of my depth. Question is, does this God, it's going to depend on the processor. Alright. I don't know. I really don't know, do I? Let's find out. Blah 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 bing 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 bing. Let's see. DPM USB blah 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 blah. There's one VGA connector, one DVI-D connector. I'm sorry, what? What the hell's a DVI-D connector? Yeah, I told you the last time I bought a computer was 2009. What's a DVI-D connector? Is that it? Do they have an HDMI to DVI adapter? Oh, cool. Well, so long as that exists, I mean, who the hell cares? My monitor is DVI. Is that DVI-D? This looks a little different than the DVI I'm used to. Why does it look different? figured these are the same for the moment, and it's something I have to validate at some point. Also has a VGA connector. That's kind of cool and old school. Just in case you need one. Can be handy. Supports all that, obviously, supports all the crap. VR ready, I don't know what that means yet. Neither do they. Nobody knows what that means yet. Video ports, 1 DVI-D port, 1 VGA port. But does that mean that it can use those ports with this processor? Should this processor support onboard? I'm getting really iffy here, huh? Why don't I drop 20 bucks on a video card? I mean, I have some video cards, actually. You know, like really stupid PCI video cards and shit. Like that. Does it support onboard video? It would have to provide its own video, you know, blitting and encoding and all that kind of crap. It's not the kind of data they'd even want to push, because people would be like, onboard video, who the hell's going to be using that? Somebody trying to drop the video card. Nothing about that. Does it have onboard video? Nobody knows. That's a bummer, the whole beginning of this thing, like the video wasn't even moving. It was all frozen. Man, it's a drag. That kind of stuff happens too, like all the time. Hey, it's like everybody else is also wondering, yeah, but does it do onboard graphics? No, not forever, just like for today. I just can't afford to blow even 1 penny on graphics processing because I don't use it right now. Wait, where's the answer on here? Key features on blah 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 blah. Foundation. The king of the forest, not duke, not earl, not prince. Fire, the king of the forest. Nobody knows. Tom's Hardware has a comment thread. We're going to read that in a second here. Up to 16 cores. 16 cores. 16 cores. I mean, it looks like it does. The motherboard certainly will support that data bus. The question is, I have already been on this page. Doesn't help me. See more technologies. Data CPU technologies. Shut up, AMD. God, who put that together? I want to make a Ryzen build, but I don't have enough money for the GPU. They said, nope. That's a pretty conclusive answer. Unless it's an APU. Oh, that's right. I heard about that. Okay, yeah, you need a GPU. Okay, so it's Ryzen and a GPU or Intel. I really want Ryzen, you guys. Alright, well, something's got to give. I can't go over budget. That can't happen. They don't sell a 2 gig memory stick. Anyways, that'd probably be like a $10 difference at this point. down the motherboard won't give me anything, I don't think. If there is a step down, there isn't. Anyways, they're all steps up. G-force. Yeah, that's all I can do. I can yank the card completely. I mean, it's still gonna need a card. What kind of card is this? What am I running in this? I don't know. Huh. It's PCI. Yeah, that's right. It's PCI. Wait, I wrote it down actually. I got notes somewhere. Notes is fine. Or the king of the forest. I think it's guys. It was a long time ago, man, that I bought this. It's an NVIDIA GeForce 6800 GTS. I know. I'm serious. This thing's old. Crazy old. NVIDIA. GeForce 6800 GTS Rev 1. I think this is PC. I like literally don't want to get up and go over there to look at it because it's on the other side of the room. The computer is. That's it, all right. Basically, I think. GTI XT. GT. Which one do I have? GTS. Oh god. Oh, I forgot. NVIDIA and all of those. Yeah, there it is. That's the bugger. Kind of. No, not really. It's a Dell version. Are these all on the same kind of board? It was groundbreaking like a million years ago. 256-bit memory interface. That's not what I'm looking for. I was trying to find out. Oh god, I'm gonna have to read a PDF. God, screw you guys. Look, Linux. What a lie. There were never, ever any NVIDIA drivers for Linux. Ever. Ever on in any dimension. It's, it's PCI Express X16. What is that? Oh, but it's support for HP. I don't know what the frap slot these are in. I literally, I'm gonna have to get up and go over there, huh? What a king of the forest, designed for PCI Express X16. Support for AGP, ADAX writing. I don't know anything about PCI Express. I really don't. Last time I was into this crap, it was PCI. Oh, I see. Blah 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 blah. Blah, you know. Yeah, I don't think I care about that part. Okay. PCI Express. X4, X16. Oh, I get it. What is it, 16 millimeters? One? No, obviously not. Must be like data buses or something. And a legacy, good old legacy PCI. Let me go check out this, my GPU and see what it is. Alright, unless I'm mistaken, this thing has one PCI Express, and two of what are either just, they can't be straight up PCI. AGP was a thing, right? Wasn't that a thing? Let me see this one. I think I have got two AGP slots. Is that possible? I think it is. By 2010, few new motherboards had AGP slots. No new motherboard looks like words flipped, but motherboard channel great. Nice. Use PCI Express. Apparently, I am part of the shrinking AGP user base. I'm not actually, I mean, AGP was like, it was all the rage at the time. Actually, 2008 when I got it. So, let me see what this stupid slot looks like. I don't know, man. I think I did seat these things myself once, a long time ago. This is funny. I don't know what kind of freaking card I have. G84 GE Force 6800 GTS. Let's take a picture of this damn thing. Oh, there it is. That's mine, I think. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it, alright. Oh wait, this one has a VGA and an S video on it? Man, mine just has DVIs, 4 DVIs. 2 on each, and then I got 2 of them. In SLI, which doesn't do anything under... Well, the SLI still works, but it's not accelerated under Linux anyway, so... I mean, except that I guess they're still cooperating with 2 cards. Yeah, that's it. What? Oh wait, no, that's... Mike's got DVD, DVIs. All DVIs. $6,800 GTS is what I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. No, that's 8,800. 6,800. There we go. GT. It's a GTX. This page is in German. Darns. Trying to read through here real quick to see if it came out in an AGP version. I'm assuming mine is a PCI Express version. Was there any other version? There was a straight up PCI version. And there was an AGP version. Maybe I just can't see the little hook. Because I don't have this little hook. I can't see it. I don't think it's in there. Maybe I'll go take another look, but I don't think so. It does appear to be the PCI Express version. You know what, I guess it'll probably crash pretty soon, so when it locks up again, I'll just, I'll take it out. Okay, so that's that. Well, I mean, it's a hell of a chance for me to, like, order the thing under the assumption that my old video card's gonna work in it. That one of my old video... that's too crazy. Yeah, that's too crazy. I mean, I could do that. I could order it and then be like... I could try it with the card, and if it doesn't work, then I'll be like, fine, send me the freaking video card in a week. Or I could try to dig up $60 to go over my budget. I mean, it's well theoretical, but what's the point of a budget? Right? Good God, look at this $3,000 video rig. Alright, well, I'm going with the cheapest video card. Don't downgrade your power supply. That's just not smart. You need power. You need more power. More power! More power! That's it. This is as low as I can get it. 560. No, it's not, huh? I just don't want to drop those other cores. That's Reds. I don't want to drop the... This is 8 threads versus 4 threads, man. What do you think? Should I go back to Intel land? Well, I got an extra $10 here if I do that. I already got SSD. That's pretty much all. That's all. If I were the king of the forest. Alright, well, what do you think of this build then, in that case? I think I can go white with the case if I want. It's the same price, I believe. As I said, my current machine, it could just die any moment. We don't know. So this is important. I can't put it off any longer. I've already put it off, since maybe 2005. Holy crap, there's a cheaper motherboard, or a cheaper case. It's $20 less. $20 less. Will that put me in the running for that processor? Put me on the cheap case. Who knows, maybe I'll just take it out and mount it in my own, my old sleeper. Not the Alienware, that's not a sleeper. I have a really old IBM Aptiva. As I said, I've had like a gazillion machines in my life. I've never not had a machine. Okay, so I get the core back up that way. I get an uglier case, ugly as sin, honestly. Ugliest case I can find. And it puts me $40 over. Damn. I want those 8 threads. The case isn't important, right? Who gives a crap about a case? And I'm gonna want those threads later, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna want them. reuse my own drive and cut $65 off. These drives are old, man, and slow. Hella old and slow. I don't know if I want it. Go back to the terabyte mechanical drive. I really should prioritize CPU over hard drive, over secondary storage. You know why? It's a lot easier to install more secondary storage. It's a pain in the ass swapping out your CPU. Although I mean, I noticed it sure has gotten a lot easier than it used to be. One thing is back when I did the last machines I built, the last machine I really built was a 386. Unless you count like a Hewlett-Packard server or something like that. Or a mainframe DASD array. So the last box I built for myself, for my own personal use, was a 386. And I know actually I built that for my kid sisters. Out of like mostly parts. And a 386. But they didn't used to get so hot, was the thing back then. So like they weren't so sensitive that you had to treat them like you were in a lab environment or something. So it was a lot easier, if you did screw up. They didn't just like explode. They just simply didn't run that hot. They didn't run that fast. What do I do, guys? Drop the... Alright. Let's say I plan on the SSD in the future. Okay? They got the cheapest mechanical hard drive they have. Well, the cheapest mechanical hard drive they have is no hard drive, and my old drives. But like I said, man, they're from 2008, 2009. If they haven't died yet, they're gonna die any minute. Alright, I'll take their cheapest 1 terabyte hard drive. Wait, I've only saved $10. But I get my 8 cores, right? Right? Yeah. I get my 8 cores. Oh wait, no, this is the 4. Oh, 3. Okay, right, 4 cores. 4 cores, 8 threads. Right. That's what I didn't want to go down to the Ryzen 3 is the main thing. If I can scratch up another... This is why we're geeks, huh? That's never enough. I'm like, what do I get with the 1500 plus XFR? What's XFR? What's XFR? Does it matter? I don't think it matters, does it? I don't have I'm already over budget. I don't have $25. Technically, I'm over budget by $25. God, that case is really ugly. But to tell you the truth, if they would send it to me mounted in a cardboard box, I would drop the case. I'd be like, screw it. I'm already down to 4 gigs of RAM, and it's just they won't even sell you 2 gig kit anymore. Which they shouldn't. It's stupid. 2 gig kit is not worth shipping. Oh God, it's gotta be. Come on, something. I want to get rid of the case. Cause this, man, it's super ugly. But you can't have everything, right? And that's where I decided to compromise that and the drive. But what I'm getting is the best processor I can get out of this if I'm going to go pre-built. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's the best I can do with that. Now, I think I owe it to myself to build an Intel version 2. I mean, as well. Mind you, it's no OS. God, that case is ugly. Freaking so ugly. There's some way I can tell them. It's like, well, how much is it for the other one that's not quite as ugly? The slightly less ugly case. I think what they did is, like, all their cases are actually, the ones they select are pretty nice. The ones they choose to offer, and yeah, it's $20 more for the case. It's not that ugly. I'll also use my sleeper case from the shed. I checked it. It'll work. It's full ATX support. Even has stand-ups for micro ATX. Man, maybe I can scratch up the $20 because it is butt ugly. Generally, they're pretty far away from me. But I think I might want to tweak this one for a while once I get it. Just like shopping for one has really put me back in the back in the equipment gear fetish, Well, that's it. So now I'm $50 over. And yeah, I know shipping and tax and all that. Not even being included in this. Is it true you can install and run Windows 10 without a license and just like fewer features or whatever without registering it? Like as a demo or something? Because I don't need it for anything except for I might want to dual boot into it in order to explore the possibility of it turning it into the streaming machine. Because I do like that laptop that's currently busy streaming. I can move that over here. I don't have any memory I could drop in. My memory's all pre-DDR3. Do you think that case is cold enough without the... Because this thing has all these vents and stuff. It's nice in that regard. 544. I know I should have better cooling. I should have better everything. I just barely afford the box, alright? Yeah, that's it. This thing is stripped down, man. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. Go back to the butt ugly case, the ugliest case, be $20 over budget, and call this build complete. Where's that super ugly case? Is there an award for the ugliest case? The FBM01 it stands for a fiendish box mutilation. No, fetid as in like rotten. Fetid box mutilation is what it stands for. The FBM. Anything, a cardboard box. Just fold me something out of origami. I mean, that thing is ugly. You know what, I really like the Landboy Air. It's like a $90 case or something. Yep, that's it. That's the cheapest piece of you're gonna find. Any features? Actually, I don't mind stuff that doesn't have front I/O. I don't tend to use it. Stuff's usually pretty far away from me, anyways. Micro ATX. Is this gonna work in there? I guess they wouldn't let me. It wouldn't be in there if it wouldn't. Glossy bezel. Yeah, I noticed. It looks terrible. Actually, I'd rather have a full-size case. But they got what? They got what? Oh, there's 2 fans. Hey, that's not too bad. I didn't have to put 2 fans in a cheap, ugly case, right? Micro ATX motherboards only. They remind you. Let me see if mine is a micro ATX motherboard. I might be putting together an impossible deal here. What's some boy action here? That, you know, it doesn't look like a micro ATX. It looks like full-size ATX. Right? Yes. Didn't I already look this thing up? MSI A320M. Why did I even leave? Is it the MSI A320M? Why do they call it grenade? That's not an encouraging name, actually. AMD does have a marketing department. I'm just like asking because who approved of calling this thing a grenade? It's like nobody learned a lesson from Fiero or Ferrari, both of which mean fire and catch on fire. Oh, it's pretty motherboard. Micro ATX, so this should work. I'm not seeing any video connectors on here. Oh wait, well, there's a back panel. I didn't see where that is. Oh, it's back there. They have its back is to us. Well, that is not a bad motherboard for the price, isn't it? I mean, that's a credit to Ironside. I mean, what else you might say about them? They do a good job picking out parts. Certainly they're not having parts here that making claims that they're, unrealistic claims here, but pretty good stuff. I mean, they got a budget board. They got a couple of budget boards, commodity board, high-end board. This is okay. This is a workhorse. This is a grenade, actually. I mean, I get why they, this is a frontline. This is a frontline workhorse here. But naming a piece of equipment after something that explodes, I know, I've already seen it. I like looking at it. I really am tempted to build my own. I mean, but you guys, you've seen me take apart. If you watch the camera ever, you've seen me take apart and reassemble my 3D printers for no good reason. So yeah, I dig this stuff. I could totally burn a month on this, but I really got to get this bot out. I kind of like that it's called Grenade now all of a sudden. It's growing on me. I'm looking at the mounting holes. Well, I care. I'm not mounting this son of a bitch. Alright. Yeah, this is their problem, mounting this sucker in there. That's what I'm paying, right? I should be looking at freaking mounting holes. It's the whole point of paying for someone else to build it. Man, this is one ugly son of a bitch. I just wish I could see in the window. That's all. In the side. I can't believe anyone's making a case where the side is not glass. I mean, completely glass. They should all be by now, right? Right? Why isn't that happening? Kids, this looks like IBM made it in the 90s. This thing is ugly. Alright, well, I guess that's suitable. I'll probably run it like this all the time. I don't know, I mean, unless it looks like... Well, it does come with 2 fans, right? So there's that. that's kind of, you can't knock that. I gotta tell you, this looks almost exactly like the IBM Aptiva full-size ATX case I have in the shed, except it's taller, you know, obviously. Like, just imagine you made it taller by like 3 drive bays, or 3 or 4 drive bays. Okay, I was looking at the gaps, and I was like, I don't know, like cable management, but then again, it's not my problem. It's their problem. You approve this build, it's your job. Put it in there. Oh, I think I have to pay for like the professional wiring or whatever. Screw that, I'll do it myself. I do not have a penny extra here, except for the $20 extra I'm already doing. Well, yeah, I mean, we can work on that. We can work on that later. I'll replace I can do cabling later. Oh god, that's ugly. Maybe I should just order the parts. And this is so ugly. It's so ugly. Maybe I should just order the parts and mount it in my old Aptiva case that's like literally chipped and missing a part of the front of the face of it, which is kind of cool. Make it real sleeper. You'd be like, Grandpa's got a piece of crap. And I'll be ba-bam. I mean, once you put a GPU in it, but even without a GPU, you'd be like, shit, boy, dog, I wasn't expecting you to be rocking Ryzen in there. But I just, like I said, I don't have the time for the build, man. Okay, how about this? How about I buy this cheap case, then as time permits and other projects, I proceed with other projects, I will move the guts from the case into my old sleeper case. Oh, it's so ugly. Why do it have to be glossy? Oh, it just makes it worse. The thing, like, nothing makes something cheap look even cheaper than making it glossy. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Thank God it's not white. At least there's that, right? See, so there's things to be thankful for. It's not white. What the heck is that back there? Oh, power supply? Yeah, okay. No, that's in the top. What's that big gaping hole back there? The front. I can't even look at its face right now. It's too ugly. Oh, it's just, oh, right, for the I.O. port, I.O. panel. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Wow, Newegg, jeez, they're like the photo thing. They must have it like super high resolution, so you can zoom, zoom, zoom. Well, that's not a big fan because of the panel. See, the panel's in the way. Yeah, that's why there's 2 sets of screws, huh? Okay, 2 sets of mounting holes. One set for the smaller, what's it? 3, and the other one for like 3.5 or whatever, 3 1/4. Whatever the hell it is. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Once you've built like a whole bunch of them and you've been in the business long enough, you don't have to care anymore. It's your, I mean, you still have to care, but it's your prerogative to choose not to care about certain stuff. I mean, I do choose to care about Ryzen and Intel, because I'm like, freaking, looks like Ryzen's pulling ahead. But, God, this is what ugly so. Is it not? Is it not? I hope I can run it with the case off, because honestly, with the case on, it's even uglier. Somehow. We're looking at the, under the motherboard. I don't know why I care. I'm not building it, right? Yeah, it's their problem to make all this crap fit in there. Maybe I'll ask them to throw any leftover paint at the case that they have. I'll say, just put it in the back. Put it in the alley behind, and then just like throw any leftover paint if someone wants to take their aggressions out on it. At it. I guess I could do that myself. Oh, it's so ugly. Alright, well, enough moping. Look, that's how we're gonna have to ride. That's how we're rocking it. Let's see what it looks like with stuff in it. And he's telling us, wow, it's a pretty small case. I really prefer a full-size case, man. I really do. I mean, like, how much can I put in there later? I have to move everything out. Not that it matters. I don't think this motherboard has... What do we got on this? What's it rocking? Why do I keep closing down boxes about the windows about the motherboard? Yeah, I don't think there's much on this motherboard, right? What do we get? I forgot. You think I would have taken note, but that's just one slot. You get one PCI Express slot and 2 DIMM slots. And that's it. That's all she wrote on that Movo. Wait, what are these little doohickeys over here? Yes, I'm old. What are those doohickeys? They look like super tiny PCI slots. What are those? Are they super tiny PCI slots? Is that what they are? Oh, I already had that window open. Oh, or something. Never mind. So, hey, how's your, what is it? Saturday. How's your Saturday go? Oh, it's Friday night still. How's your Friday night going? That right there. Is that, see that down there? Are those tiny PCI? Like a miniature, what do they call them? PCI 4 or something? PCI 2? PCI Express 2? X2? PCI Express X2. I think. And then 2 DIMM slots, which power connectors. The rest of this crap, believe it or not, hasn't changed much in, I'm not going to say how long. A long freaking time that I've been doing this kind of stuff. I think I want more than one PCI Express slot. Alright. Well, I may have reached the limits of the... Dang, bro. Look at that. Frick, he's like... Not 1 inch is going unused. Brother crammed a lot in that one. There is not one trick missing. Alright, yeah, I think I want more than one PCI Express slot. Right? Don't I? But, so this might be the limitations of the tweaking on that build that we can do. And, I might just have to say, okay, that's as far as we can go with that build. And if we want like a motherboard with more PCI Express, we may just have to step down to Intel. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I said it. I said step down to Intel. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I've been running Intel my whole life. I don't think I've ever owned an AMD chip. Holy crap. I just realized this would be my first AMD chip. Maybe that's why I'm kind of so excited about it. It's like new and exciting, exotic. I like the slate build. See here, but it's why did I not go with the slate build? They won't let me drop the graphics card. Cool. Well, we can do that, but it's not. It's not AMD. Alright, so I got an AMD build. Now I should go with this is my crap. My really crappy AMD build, which still goes over the, well, it's ugly as sin, that's for sure. But I think it's got juice where it counts. Do I have any RAM at all left? Yeah, I got 4 gigs. Well, that's good. I need some of that. I'm wondering how many more, I can't afford these. I want more slots, though. Not the stupid blingy RGB stuff. I just, like, do not have, there's no room in the budget for that stuff. Now this looks like a mofo. MSI B350M. With a VGA and DVI ports. I don't know, tell me, they don't tell you what's on the, but they do give you a link to the spec sheet. Thank you. I gotta tell you, Ironside really has their crap together, you know? For considering, you know, I mean, the market they're hitting is people who are not gonna build, and so they go quite far for considering their targets are people who aren't gonna build. If you think about it, right? You think like, oh man, those people aren't gonna look up specs. I don't know what PCI steel armor is, but that's, you know, I mean, that's a cool thing. It's, I guess, you know, what are these little doohickeys? What are those? How come all of these boards only seem to have one slot? Am I missing something? Maybe I'm confused about something. All the boards just seem to have one PCI Express slot and these little tiny doohickeys. I don't know if that's a slot now. Yeah, I'm that old. I don't, yeah! Why is that guy yelling at me? He's like, let me out of this VR thing, it's killing my head. Alright. Well, so I can't afford that motherboard. I'm down to this. So this is the AMD build. What is it? We got the world's cheapest, ugliest case. The FBM Micro ATX. FBM01 Micro ATX case is ugly as sin. No extra fans. Although the case does come with 2, so that's cool. And I got one here I'm going to drop in. But I dumped it all in the processor. So I got an AMD Ryzen 5 1400 3.2 gigahertz. And yeah, I know you're like, hey, build it and you could get more. I told you, man, I do not have time to be building this. I can't get wrapped up in something like that. And you can tell I already want to. I'm like, I totally want to dig into this and do it all like custom tubing and stuff. Hard tubing, I think, is the way to go. Anyways, we're not going there. I got an AMD motherboard that doesn't have enough slots, but I'm starting to think none of them have enough slots. What's up with that? I cut the RAM in half. I bought the cheapest hard drive, mechanical. I want SSD, but I can't fit it in. I would drop the graphics board, the GPU completely, but I can't because it's AMD and the board doesn't have onboard video, so you got to provide some something. I didn't skip out on the power supply. You just can't. You can't. That's a big mistake. It's like skipping out on the captain of the ship. You know what I mean? That's like the thing you don't skip out on. You lose the whole ship. And came in $24 over budget. I could order the parts, put it together myself, have it together in a week. It would be fun as heck, but in the meantime, my real PC would crash several times. Alright, so there's an alternate build I need to do. It's the Slate, which is basically, they're saying they're, you know, peasant Intel build, right? So for like non-blingy. It's really like, you know, the sensible programmers build, you know, without GPU stuff. So, but yet with expandability, you know, so for the future or whatever. Anyways, time for me to take a break. And then we're going to dive into tweaking down the Slate Silver build, which is actually a step up on the Slate build, ladder. They break them into different, that's not what I meant. They break them into different groups, so Slate, there's like a couple of different versions, like pre-configured or whatever. Pre-spec. Mosquitoes. Their signature pre-configured series of machines is not what we're looking for, actually. I forgot. Forgive me. Fine, what a king of the forest. Not duke, not prince. Oh, okay, see, there's a bronze version. I already got it spec'd for $500. So that's cool. I mean, they're like sitting and waiting for people who come in. They're like, I got $500, I need a PC now. Right? And I do not have time to get drawn into what I usually get drawn into, which you just saw. Me spending all my time trying to tweak this and tweak that, which of course, I mean, I'm a nerd. We love this stuff. So they won't let me have the $20 upgrade because they're out of that processor. What is it, the 4600 or 4300, whatever, 4500, the next one up. Like I said, 474, so that's affordable, but, and actually, to tell you the truth, somewhat less ugly, let's face it. But it's a Pentium, dual core. And I'm talking, over here, we're looking at quad core 8 threads, AMD Ryzen at 3.2 gigahertz, right? So we're not going to back off from that, right? Right? Ugly case or no. Anyways, break time for Master Monkey, and then when I come back, we're going to dig into the Intel build process. That's going to be fun. I wish I could pick a side of the fence, AMD or Intel. I've been Intel my whole life, but I mean, let's face it, really wasn't a hard choice for most of history. I'm actually going to add some music to the back of it. I think. Anyways, if the music comes on, enjoy that. If not, sorry. So then I'm going to come back and do the Intel part of this. It's going to be fun. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do that guy too, huh? I forgot. Alright. Well, we're back. Oh, thanks for tuning in, by the way. Aren't these the saddest streams ever? I talk to I just burped in the mic, sorry. I talk to replay viewers that may never exist, but to never really know if you're there. Okay, well, so I got a $524 AMD build spec out. What is the title of the stream right now? Spec edition, specking PC from Ironside. Bring all your hates. Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. I should put something really incendiary, like console peasant reforms. Ooh, that's good. That's good. We're gonna do that. It's totally incendiary. Console peasant. I'm not, actually. Reforms. Specs. PC from Ironside. Bring your hate. Bring your hates. All here's. All here. That's good. That's good. It's a pretty incendiary title. Okay, so that's what we're working with right now. On the AMD side, I still got to do an Intel build. Okay, and I'm $24 over budget already. So there you go. Well, I'm gonna BRB. Actually, I'm gonna BRB. This time I have to BRB because I have to get more coffee in me. I'll BRB and then we'll finish the Intel side of the build here. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Ryan. I was just getting some more coffee. I just came back. I just realized the title could be a lot more incendiary. It should say, Console Peasant Repents. I'm going to change it. Console Peasant Repents. I'm not even a console peasant. I have a Linux box that is from 2009. Pardon me, and it's completely fried. Almost completely fried. Anyways, it's from 2009. So you got $500, and I don't have time to build it, man. I'm supposed to be finishing this bot, and I'm building 2 3D printers at the same time. So I'd love to build it. I built my own 8088, a 51 IBM 5150. I built my own 80286, 386, 486. But do not have time right now. So I'm going to pay Ironside a bit to put it together. I went through here. I yanked the Windows operating system. Don't need that. I'm going to run Linux. Since there's no drivers, I don't need a GPU, but it's AMD. So on an AMD board with a Ryzen, you need a GPU, at least with this board. So the FBM, no, that's not that. I got, what board did I get? Where'd you go back on? Where's my motherboard? Oh yeah, but I dumped it all in the processor. Screw it. That's the most pain in the ass part to replace, right? So I don't want to dig all the way, well, aside of the case. But I did get the ugliest case known to man, the cheapest case they have. But I got 8 threads, quad-core 8 threads. So Ryzen 5 1400, and I'd love to step up to the 1600. That's the hexa-core. Ooh. But I mean, let's not get greedy. I yanked just about everything else out I could. Cut the RAM in half, 4 gigs RAM. I wanted SSD bad, but just can't fit it in, so I'm going to have to go with a terabyte. Their cheapest mechanical drive is a terabyte, so I guess, I mean, mechanicals are cheap now, I guess. And the cheapest graphics card. That I'd go with no GPU at all, because like I said, I'm going to run Linux anyways. This I'm running Linux in this box right now. Believe it or not, it's an Alienware Area 51 from 2008, and it's got dual NVIDIA GTX 6800 GTS. 2 of them running an SLI, and I mean, obviously that's a little point in that in Linux, as NVIDIA's never given us any drivers for Linux. So it might be cool later. I'd like to swap it out for this machine that does my streaming, which is running on a laptop, and I've really started looking at PCs, and so I was like, oh man, look at all these cool new chips and stuff, and I got the lowdown on graphics processing and the onboard the chips now, and like Ryzen with the streaming and stuff. Looks like it'll have some real advantages for that. So I don't know, they really got me on the Ryzen thing. So Ironside actually has, if you go down there, like build your own box, spec your own box path. They have an Intel path and an AMD path. And basically, I figured out the absolute cheapest you can get out of the AMD path. Almost the cheapest is $524. That's the cheapest case, 4 gigs RAM, nothing extra, no extra nothing. Actually, you could get off a little cheaper if you drop the CPU down to a Ryzen 3. But why go down to a Ryzen 3? Look, so if you drop $50, you go down to, you'll save $50, but you won't get, you just get quad core and, quad threads, right? Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so next I'm gonna do an Intel build. Yeah, it's just 4 threads, right? Yeah, 4 cores, 4 threads. Yeah. So if you do, if you get the Ryzen 5, you get 4 cores, 8 threads. Ooh. And it's my understanding if you have like, if you do video streaming, and the software is written correctly, you know, both the game and the video stream, like so the software only is only going to use like 4 of those threads, or 2 of the threads, and then the rest of the threads are available for your OBS or whatever to do your live streaming, so that you can do live streaming while you actually run software, i.e. a game. Yeah, I can't give this processor up. I'm going to go $25 over my budget because I just can't give this processor up. It's beautiful. It's the only good part of this build. The rest is crap. Utter crap. I dropped everything I could. So I have hard drives, actually. I wonder what I got in my old. Let's see. So if you need to find out on your Linux box what's up with your drives, you do this. fdisk -L, and I think these are in dev SDA. And no, they're not. I'll just do this. Oops. And then it'll list all of them. Oh my god, I forgot how they wrapped all that around now. They're big. I have 8 gig slices. Well, I'll find out what they are. Oh, you know what? I think I could do this. What are they called now? Ask it. I'll have to find out how much they are. They're big, but they're 9 years old. Like, they're from 2008. They're not 9 years old, but wait, almost. That's almost 9 years old. That's insane. Oh god, I can't believe that thing is still running. It is still running. It runs like 24 hours a day. Case is off. A couple of fans are totally fried. I dropped in some other fans. So it could die any moment here. I really do have to spec out a replacement. Okay, so at Ironside, Ryan says he needs help. At Ironside, they got a couple of like pre-spec'd builds. And this one, I think, I gotta tell you, I think they did a good job on it. The Slate, which is, you know, for people who don't need a GPU, but might want a GPU later, or might want to add some crap later. And they got a $4.99 version and a $7.99 version. I think I can yank a bunch of crap out of the $7.99 version that I... Oh, okay. You yank everything you don't need out, you can get the better version of the Slate for $600 if you drop the OS. See, so I don't need an OS. I'm running Linux. But I do still... So as a, you know, for compiling, for developing, I run like Android Studio. I run lots of compilers and Unix stuff, so there's lots of memory, you know, banging, lots of bit banging in memory, drive access to some extent for like large resource compiling and stuff. I think they did a really good job of this. Looked like they just all packaged it all up, dropped it right at $500. So if you're like, God, my machine's, you know, smoke's coming out and I need to stay, you know, on task, and I only got $500, you know, pretty good job. You get an okay case, Slate Series chassis. Maybe that's their own custom. Here's what they did. You get a, hey, good work, Ryan. Ryan is taking care of 4 kittens. Don't get Plasmodia, Taxoplasmodia. It's that parasite that makes humans go crazy and drive motorcycles too fast. So don't get that. It's in, if you ever saw Train Spotting, it's the thing that guy died from, I think. Did he die from that? Yeah. Oh, see, but look, this is a Pentium. Hey, Ryan, you're hip, right? Pentium, you don't want to buy into Pentium at this stage in the game, do I? It's like, I mean, I've been running Intel my whole life, so, I mean, for me, it's even weird to be into AMD, but I'm super excited about Ryzen. But even then, I mean, if you're going to go Intel, you go the Core i5, i7 if you can, i5, right? But I figure if I'm going to get a new machine, Shouldn't bother with Pentium. Okay, but look, I can drop $100 off this build, right? See? So check this out. Bam, no OS. Bam, $100. So, I'm gonna put that back into the processor. See? I'm a true geek. I have built plenty of my own machines. I know where it needs to go. Crap. It's not enough. I can't get out into the i5 game short of $200. So I gotta dig up another $200 in this build somewhere. $400 for that. They already have the cheapest drive. They don't have a GPU at all. Integrated graphics. That's what I would have done too. Yep, that's it. If I want the i5 in this build, I need to go no storage. Ouch. So use my old drives from 2008. From 2000. Ryan, I thought all you guys knew how to use your how to build your own machines. I thought they were all like anti-console and stuff now. But man, I do love the cool stuff they're making. You know, this stuff is so much cooler than, you know, like the last time I built it. Cases didn't have any aesthetics. They were just like, if you were lucky, they didn't cut your hand off while you were working on them. That was it. And they weighed a ton, and nothing was made to look cool or anything like that. I just can't get out of Intel for this price range. I mean, into the i4. Well, you don't want just a regular Pentium, is what you don't want. All right. So far, the best build is this here AMD. It's the cheapest case they have. This thing is butt ugly. It's the FBM01 Micro ATX. Oh, here it is. Here it is in all of its glory. Woo! Honestly, I'm half tempted to just like, I don't know, maybe I should just get the parts on Newegg. You go to Newegg.com, you get all these same parts for less. But like I said, I don't have time to do this, man. Something like this, I'll get all obsessed with it. I'll be doing it for 2 weeks. I gotta finish this bot. Yeah, so check this out. You see, on my motherboard, I trace back to where one of the fans had stopped working, and occasionally it overheats and it shuts down, which it should, because it's about to blow up. This isn't my motherboard, it's someone else's. But, this, you see this right here? One of these capacitors right here? Actually, this one, like to the, that's a real train. I'm not far from train tracks. Over here, there's a capacitor that feeds, very similar to this, that feeds into the power lines, the power rails for that run to the fans eventually, the one that's burned out. So I've traced it back to that capacitor, and the thing is leaking, like it's exploding. You know, there's like stuff coming out of it, just a little tiny bit, very slowly, like the like the Marshmallow Man or something like that. And so I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. Okay, I think I know why it's dying, and I don't know, man. What am I going to do? Pull a Lewis Rossman on this, yank the thing out, replace a capacitor on a board from 2008? I mean, I looked in my stock. I got a whole inventory over here. Yeah, it's a 600 to 800 microfarad capacitor. I could yank it out and replace it, but jeez. So that's when I started looking at the new chips and stuff. What's out? Man, you guys have all the cool stuff. The box is so old. The box is so old. It's oh my God, you're right. Why don't I just stop it right now? You're right. So visitor Ryan, for replay viewers who don't say that on the screen, has a good idea. Didn't know. That's a brilliant idea. At least I can halt the disease by spraying it with some glue. Probably. You know what? I think I've got a hot glue gun, and also I have some spray adhesive that would work really good. Yeah, just to halt the progress of the. But the good news is, in that AMD build, this is the motherboard I'm getting, so getting a good motherboard out of it. One thing I'm confused about, and I think maybe it's probably just me being old. I think I'm reading something wrong, but all these boards seem to have just one slot. And they all have one PCI Express slot. I thought, like, the cool thing back in the day, at least, was to have a whole bunch of whatever it was the slot that was popular, which is why there's an AGP slot in my board, in my 2008 board. Yeah, at first I was like, what the hell is that thing? Oh my god, it's freaking AGP. That was kind of short-lived, but for a while everybody was like, AGP. I mean, the bandwidth was really fast. So, I didn't have an AGP card. I have two PCI Express cards, rather early PCI Express cards in SLI. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that. Yeah, so this is the best build so far. I think I'm going to go with the AMD build, even though it's $20 over budget. I can't fit the version of the Workstation build. What do they call it? They're Slate. That's like Shaft. You could do it to the Shaft, you know, the Shaft song, but it would be Slate. I got the imp down to $474. That's another Pentium though, that's why. I get the feeling like Pentium would be like buying AGP right now, right? It's like, seems like it's on its way out. Ha! I can get this one if I drop the memory down to 4 gigs. That drops $40 off, and almost no operating system. What else can I drop? All the storage. Never mind. This doesn't fit either. Gah. Yep. Okay. Well, the AMD build actually probably is the best bet. Why am I dicking around about this? And actually, I'm forcing it to go over budget because I just don't want to cut back that processor. It's so cool. 8 threads. So it's the difference between 4 cores and 4 threads and 4 cores and 8 threads. Yep, this is it. This is my baby. Alright, shipping and stuff's gonna be a little bit more, but yeah. Too bad I can't get off without a too bad I can't get away. Sorry. Too bad I can't get away from it without a video card, without a GPU. Apparently, you're buying into the Ryzen thing, you're buying into a GPU. There's no way around it. Nah. I guess I could take the Slate as they build it, but that's a Pentium. Basically, all the other options are Pentiums. And what's the grunt? An i7. What can I take off? It's 644. Not even close. Not even close. I didn't even do an Intel build. I think I said I would. I just didn't do one. If I were the king of the forest. Right. Okay, so that's what I didn't do. I didn't do the build your own machine, but Intel version. I think it comes out to the same. They kind of worked it out. They did pretty good. I'm impressed with these guys, you know? I gotta tell you. You know? Hey, Ryan. I gotta tell you, I mean, I think, like, you know, builders seem to get a bad rep. And I know what they're talking about. I mean, like, I get it. I'm a geek. So I know you're like, you should know how to build your own PC. But, I mean, like, what if they already know how to build their own PC? And they're in a hurry and their PC is about to blow up. And console peasants, too, actually, in terms of console peasants. I'm not even into gaming because I more like to make stuff, you know, and so it's kind of like a busman's holiday, you know. It means it's not fun for me to play a game because instead I'm like, oh, I would be doing this a different way, or in a way I kind of just feel like I'm navigating another programmer's database when I'm playing a game. I know really I'm just advancing like counters that are just opening up access to resources, so it just seems, you know, like silly. I like to watch other people play. I watch long plays for hours and hours on So like Twitch, yeah, I love watching people play on Twitch. Okay, look, so I can cut down to a GeForce GT 730 GPU. It's, I don't care, because, as I said, I'm running Linux. And it's down to 594. And if I cut the RAM down, that won't be enough. I'll just cut like 40 bucks off. Yeah. Da-da-da-da. You can tell I spent too much time on this site already. Imagine if I decided to build my own. God, I'd be so obsessive. I'd probably never even pick the parts. I'd still be looking for the parts in 2 weeks when the fire department came to put out the fire when my machine exploded in my face. I could fit this one if I drop the storage. Or go 50 bucks over. Or drop the CPU. No! Don't disassemble. I can't anyways. There isn't any CPU in the I range to drop down to. I'd be dropping down to Pentiums. And I get the weird feeling as a long-time observer of the industry that is somehow not going. Hey, do I even need one? I don't. This motherboard has built-in video. Woo! I got it down to 500 bucks. Sweet. All I gotta do is make sure the motherboard actually does have it's a Gigabyte GA H110. Gigabyte GA H110. I don't think I've slept for a while. Yeah. Exactly. I know, like 3 weeks later, I'd have like thousands of tabs. That's just how geeks are, man. Like, something has to happen, otherwise I'll be like, there must be a better solution somewhere. This perfection is never perfect. Reading the specs for the Gigabyte GA H110M-A, a ATX form factor motherboard. I'm killing time. Whoa, my goodness. 6 PCIe. See? So I wasn't wrong. I thought I was like being old man. I'm be like, don't you need slots? We need lots of slots, right? I don't even know what they're for yet, but you need slots. Oh, I was right. Those are slots now. Those little tiny things are slots, dudes? Wow. I know, I sound like an old... I am an old man. Those are slots now? Holy crap. Are those like, what are they called? PCI Express X2? What the hell can they fit through just that many pins? That's amazing. That's really cool. Okay, so you get one of the old PCI Express slots, and then like a bunch of these new little tiny doohickeys. Wasn't there a reason there was a lot of pins on them? So that they would have like a lot of bandwidth? I don't know. I guess they figured it out. Cool. Cool. I mean, the boards look cleaner, you know. I don't know how they sit in there. Do they like sit in there okay? Anyways, I approve. That's it looks nice. The only thing though, is the motherboard for the AMD build is called the Grenade. And I mean, let's face it, that's just freaking cool. It's the AMD, no, sorry. What's the motherboard here? MSI A320M. MSI, oops, sorry, I haven't slept. A320M. Yeah, there it is. I was just searching for it before. That's quite actually, you seem to be quite knowledgeable, taking those factors into consideration. Right. So let's see here. Wow, it is pretty though, huh? Isn't this pretty? These boards are so much prettier. I mean, for comparison, here, let me show you. I'll show you what an 80286 motherboard looked like. They just didn't care, man. They just like, it didn't matter. You know, it's weird. And yes, I did build one of these, and an 8088, and a 386 for my kid sisters. Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, it's like, oh, they were so, oh god, they're just ugly. There's nothing to look at, and there's no, I mean, it's not even just the way they look. Like, they're not practical. Like, they didn't care where you were going to put wires or anything like that. Like, screw you, dude. It's up to you. I don't know. Good luck, sucker. And, like, things just didn't make sense. Sometimes they just cram things on here or there. There's no order or rhyme or reason. They put things, like, right in the... That's nice. They put things right next to the power supply or something. They put RAM right next to the power supply. Just like the stupidest crap. Really, they were awful. Just awful. Oh, yeah, look at this. Ooh, this is a bit of classic 1996. Oh, man, this brings back memories. The only good thing about this was that you could lose... I'm, like, pointing on the screen with my finger. You can't see when I'm pointing with my screen. But I'm moving the mouse around over here on the left-hand side of this board. And you could lose... A couple of these chips could go bad. They're individual memory chips, and you could lose them and then, like, replace them individually. These buggers over here. I still have some of these somewhere laying around. Those are memory. That's memory over there. In fact, this is probably 2, 4, 6. This is I guess this is 64 megs, or I don't know what, something like that. So yeah, they're crazy, and it's just ugly. Look at this thing. And there's no accommodations for heat, because honestly, the chips didn't get very hot anyways. They really didn't run so much as it walked. That's a good one. Old computers didn't run so much as walk. And here's the butt ugly. These are original ISA slots. ISA, ISA. Regular, yeah, just regular ISA. Oh my god, how did we get into war story time, Grandpa? Okay, the point is, this board is freaking beautiful. I could fall in love with a board like this. Ah! Sorry, I just smacked myself in the face with the... Incidentally, I've seen some CPU installations, and man, that is a lot easier too than it was with, like, the 386s and stuff. I never installed a... I've never installed a Pentium series. I stopped after that. I was like, I took one look at all those pins and I was like, that's it, I'm out. I'm just gonna buy one on a board already. After that, I bought them on boards at least. So yeah, no, I mean, because I got, like, so I have, like, one machine. This is my development cheese. I should sleep. My development machine, and it's all, like, where I do all my, like, coding. I do Android development and Arduino stuff here, all that stuff. It's all Linux. And then I got a bunch of Raspberry Pis. I got one that runs the stream. That's the Raspberry Pi bot, and I got one that runs the printer, and I got another one that runs the remote control camera, and then I have a cheap laptop, a $300 laptop that runs OBS and captures the screen for streaming, which I'm trying to get out of the mix. But yeah, so my development box is the one that's dying. I'll be like, I won't have any way to do my stuff. Oh, I was gonna look at my motherboard that I think I'm gonna probably be getting here. Look at all those slots. Wow, cool. And it supports DDR4, blah blah blah. The rest of this is pretty predictable. Blah 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 blah. The rest looks good. It looks good. Yeah, so what I had with my SLI config was that there are basically 4 GPU cores on... There's 2 GPU cores on each of the cards, and so one core would do 1/4 of the screen. And so the screen was split up into 4 quarters. And each card basically had a video processor assigned to each quarter of the screen, which is hella fast. Would have supported drivers, but not in Linux. Yeah, and then 10 years later. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was fun at the time, actually. I ran, what did I run? Bryce. And Blender was still around, was already around back then. Second Life, a lot. I never was much of a gamer. I'm like, all about 3D development and VR stuff. This is not going to be a VR rig, but I do want to have that capability. So I'm going to want to drop it, you know, a pretty chunkin' GPU in there eventually. So I'll get my building fix. What's the rest of this? It's all just... wait, what are they saying? They saying capacitors don't explode? Cool. Non-exploding capacitors. Well, I mean, I'll give it a break. It's been on like 24 hours a day for 10 years. Practically. I think I'm pretty set on the AMD one. Oh, why am I still looking at this? Okay, I'm set. I'm sold. That's it. I'm going AMD unless I go Intel. Oh, so much for that. Look at this ugly case, though, man. Isn't this thing ugly? So, I'm down to... I'm at 49, and 500 was supposed to be my official cutoff. It's for myself, really. Maybe if I add $10, I can get a case that is not totally frickin' cyber. That doesn't look like my name is Cyberpunk. There's probably a better way to do that joke nowadays, huh? Oh, I can get the Aero Can, Aero 3, Aero Can. Someone should make one and call it the Aero Can. Just call it the trash can. They already have those. I like the Landboy. God, that thing is awesome. Landboy Air. There's an opportunity to drop with $30. I think you should learn JavaScript then, Phantom. I think it's the most important one for you these days. Because it's all happening on the front end. There's some shit on the back end, but old people can write that code anyways. And you only need that code once. The front end's important. You have to work on it all the time. There's an opportunity to drop $30 here by getting the world's ugliest case again. Just like I did with the Ryzen build. Even though I was just complaining about the case. Or I could get a case that doesn't suck. I could get this one here. The AeroCool Aero 300 FAW. It's not beautiful, but it doesn't look like your name is Cyber either. So that's kind of cool. I don't want to blow money on a case. I mean, I'd mount it in a cardboard box. If, you know, you're right, man. Just do it. I have to get the cheapest one. Fuck it. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to get the cheapest case that gives me, look, even more that I can blow on the processor. If I can upgrade the processor. Or I can switch to an SSD. Yes. Yes. Because I'm compiling, see, so for compiling, it does matter. There's like a lot of disk activity. And if you should be doing, oh my god, look at this. I'm getting a butt ugly Intel i5 build out of this, and I still got $20 left. What do you say? Double the RAM? I got no GPU, onboard graphics. Screw it. Double the RAM, huh? Can I get new RAM with the CPU? Not for $20. Yes, I can. What do you get between the 7400 and the 7500? Okay. Intel Core i5 7400 3 gigahertz. You get 4 cores and 4 threads. Whereas with the Intel Core i5 7500 3.4 gigahertz quad core, you get 4 cores, 4 threads. What am I getting? 0.4 gigahertz? Give me a break. Huh. PC part picker? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to build it. I just don't have the time. Seriously, man. I know all the arguments. Trust me. You know what? In fact, I have probably mocked someone before for not building their own PC. God. Now I feel bad. But I've built like a crap load of them, and I got a blowing up machine, and I'm supposed to be working on the bot, not building my dream PC. fact, I already spent too long doing it. But PC Part Picker is good, yeah. And Newegg, actually. I just like it. Totally addicted to Newegg. Already built like 10 different systems on Newegg. Some of them are wacky. I love this case, man. I gotta say, the Landboy Air case is the freaking coolest case in the world that does not cost $1 billion. There are some other cases that are cooler, but they cost $1 billion. Yeah, look at this thing. Oh my god. And it's like totally modular. You can just totally have a shit over this thing. Look at this. You can do anything with it. This will be like, you know, this is what the computers in the International Space Station are probably mounted in. Because you like just never know what you might have to accommodate, you know, what you're going to have to deal with. This thing's amazing. Look at that. All the flexibility. Like, frickin' there's nothing you would not be able to fit in there. There's i9 already? There's already i9? I didn't know that. I only knew i5 and i7. That's all I've been able to look at so far. I think you're right. They do have i9 now, huh? It just came out, right? I heard there was some people talking about Intel. They're like, Intel is back! I think that's what they were saying, because the last few months has been like, oh my god, this Ryzen's pretty interesting. I don't know, should I stick with Intel? Brand loyalty in computing doesn't really pay off. Except for this case. God, this thing is so amazing. But it doesn't do any processing. Oh, I didn't mention I forget to repeat for replay viewers. The viewer, Ryan, pointed out that Intel has some new i9 coming out, which is, it comes in blue. It should come in red, huh? That'd be badass. Oh, it does! This thing's awesome. But this is like if you're planning for the rest of your life. Like I said, if you're going to build PCs to go to be used on the International Space Station, they should be building this. I don't even know how much it is. I haven't looked because I was like, I already knew I couldn't afford it in my build. Besides, if I put aside the money for this, it's $150. You see, the thing is, if you put the money into this in your case, and then you get your whole PC built together, and then they're like, man, but what if I put it in a cardboard box instead and upgrade my processor by $100? And then all of a sudden the case doesn't seem so cool. Well, let's face it, that is maybe the coolest case on earth. Yep, it's the coolest case on earth. Alright, but I'm not getting that case. I'm getting the world's ugliest case. The ugliest, cheapest case offered by Ironside. So, I can pump up the RAM. I can, this isn't a butt ugly case. I can pump up the RAM. I could put the $20 into another case. I can't go any further with the, I'm not going to add fans. That takes all the fun away from me. So I could add fans later, and that would be fun for me. Right? Yeah. I get fans. And add them myself later. What a king of the forest. I really should just keep the change. Trying to max it out here. Hey. Oh, I can get them to do the wiring. I'll just complain anyways. The wiring's already nice. I've seen their stock wiring. It's nice. Besides, you can't see in the case because I changed it to a butt ugly case. So it just don't matter. Can I upgrade my heatsink? That's always a good idea. But I can do that myself, you know, like later. I have some pretty good local computer shops. I just don't really trust any of their builds. I don't trust their guys, actually. I can upgrade to the Gigabyte GA B250M DS3H. The Gigabyte gigabyte GV. Usually I can remember this kind of stuff, but I told you my brain's kind of fried right now. Gigabyte GA B250M. GA B250M. Yeah, so I think, yeah, you're right. Like, I know I even did read somewhere, somebody says, Ryan pointed out, you know, that those processors did indeed, you know, I guess Intel's volley back, returned volley in the latest incarnation of the processor wars, was just like a month ago. And this is after some hoopla has been building about Ryzen. So, man, we're like right in the middle of World War III for CPUs, huh? It's, I know, it's like an iffy time to be buying a PC. If I didn't have one that was dying, you know, I quite likely might be like, maybe I'll wait to see who's winning this thing. I'm a little skeptical about the Ryzen and like internal, you know, threading for video processing. I mean, so Linus Tech Tips did a bunch of benchmarks and stuff, and it does look, you know, like it's to be there, but I think it will depend on developers, right? And you just never freaking know with them. What are they going to do, you know? I think my PC just crashed. Yep, yeah, it did. That's what happens when it crashes. It just, everything stops. Yep. Hey, so you got to see. See, I told you. So this is like a dire situation. I have to do something. Otherwise, I won't be able to continue working on the bot. Oh, wait. No, this is a processor thing. Never mind. It's their page is like really bad. Or my machine is way too old. Is the truth. Okay, so you get to two of the fancy new little slots, whatever you guys call them. The adorable slots. Cute slots. The bitty body slots. Hey, you get 4 DIMM slots. That's cool. I think you're getting 2 more USB. You're getting VGA as well as a DVI, so that's cool. If you got some old VGA crap laying around. And of course HDMI. And 2 more USBs over there, or USB 2, and then 4 USB 3s that you could plug things in that need power. For some bizarre reason, what do they call that? PS2 aux connector. What are they using those for? Or is that an S-Video connector? I think it's a PS2 aux connector. Weird. Who needs that? And again, what a beautifully clean board. God, just awesome. Not quite as pretty as the Grenade. Yeah, it is. It's a PS2 port. What the why? What the why? What the why? B250. Isn't that kind of a weird place where they put that? Oh, why am I looking at this? I already went through this like twice. Why am I looking at this? I'm not going to build this thing. In fact, it'll probably be a year before I get a chance to open it up and really tinker with it. I'll probably take it apart the first day and put it back together on stream. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. It's a nice board. What am I getting out of it? 2 more DIMM slots and a VGA connector, I think, as opposed to the other one. And I think we're kind of worn out. Yeah, a little worn out. This one here, yeah, I'm getting two more DIMM slots is what you're getting, as far as I know. I mean, I didn't read the marketing blurb. If we could compare marketing blurbs. It's oh, you can't read that. Well, it supports 7th and 6th generation core processors. Unbuffered DDR4 and 980 dual channel, non-ECC, ultra fast, blah blah blah. 2 of those little tiny slots, whatever they're called. Okay, specs. 1 PS2, 1 D-sub, what's that? 1 DVI-D, 1 HDMI, 4 of the powered USB 2, the USB 2, 45, and that's it. How am I seeing this as different from the $25 less version? Fine, what a king of the forest, not a duke, not a prince. Side-by-side comparison of the GH1 10MA versus them newfangled GA 8250 Beats, or B250. Yes, I need my glasses. M, which clearly does not exist in the catalog. What we see here is a professionally engineered motherboard from the Intel Corporation of Sunnyvale, California. Actually, they're kind of in Milpitas. And they got to some stuff. Well, they got stuff. I can't tell what I'm getting out of this as opposed to the other one. It wasn't anything. I mean, it's out of the DIMMs. I think I just get the DIMMs and maybe a VGA connector. I'm not sure if there's any difference in like bandwidth or anything, throughput anywhere like that. But it certainly doesn't look as cool as the Grenade. But it doesn't matter because both of my builds I've used the ugliest case where you can't see the damn thing anyways. Well, you basically can't go wrong getting a better motherboard, right? I can't upgrade the CPU. I can't upgrade the cooling. However, I feel confident doing those things myself at a later date, as the opportunities present themselves. I could bump up the power supply. Amazingly, I actually have a couple of really good power supplies around here because I also use them for my 3D printers. So it's actually, in a pinch, I can always repurpose them. Better than this, actually. I have an 850 watt power supply and a 1000 watt power supply. But 600 watt might be. Nah, screw it. Why am I doing that? Do it later. Do you have a $20 video card? So I don't have to open up the case and put one in. Nope. Maybe I'll just send them a ViewMaster. And I'll say, can you install this ViewMaster for my video card? Oh my goodness, look. 499 bucks. Well, when I set a budget, I max it out. Pardon me. So far I have my AMD build, which is 20 bucks over my budget, which I really, really want. But it's 20 bucks over budget. And it's ugly as sin. But basically all of these are ugly as sin because I end up replacing the case in order to juice out the processor or something else. Now let's face it, that is the correct way to be. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Of course I'm not wrong. I didn't know. And you're like, well, what about that case? Why don't you get that? That's a beautiful case. Yeah, but that one is their spec with an Intel Pentium. It's a Pentium, bros. It's a Pentium. Oh, I forgot to watch the chat. Hey, sorry if I missed chat, people. Hello, and greetings if there were chat people. I just never know. Hey, and sorry, you can probably just barely see the 3D sandbox because of all my mess. But actually, I'll show you how to use it while we're at it. You know what? Because it might be not making sense anymore. But when I do it this way, you'll hardly see anything on the screen. I mean, there won't be anything blocking. because you'll see, it's like it'll all get alphaed away mostly. Okay, so to put yourself somewhere on the screen, you type pause. If you type pause, it'll give you instructions. But you type pause center, and it'll move you to the center of the screen. Now, notice when you type pause center, it'll give you where you are. Every time you type pause, it'll tell you where you are. So this is typing pause center is equivalent to typing pause 0 space 0 space 0, which you can do if you like. So if you like, you can type pause 0 space 0 space 500. And this is actually the same as typing pause up times 5. So each of the boxes is 100, 100. So up by 5, well, is the same thing. So so you can move yourself around by moving up and down with the pause commands. You can say, like, pause north times 3, and that will move you to the north by 3. If you just want to move 1, you just say commands. Sorry, why did I do that? I'm doing this wrong. Sorry about that. Say pause north times 3. With an X, you say pause north times 3. Don't say commands. Sorry, I haven't slept. Then you pause up times 4 will move you up. And if you want to move back to the center again, you just type pause center. And you can move. So that's moving around. But that's just to move around. But you can use the same stuff with boxes. So like if you type box, well, I'm going to move away first. I'm going to say box. I'm going to say pause north, up, east times 3. Okay, so that it's just moving me away from the center. But if I say box red right here, it'll make a red box right there at the position. And if you type box red, it'll tell you where it made a box, and it'll tell you that it made one box. But if you're quick on your feet, which I think you are, you think you might be able to do box red east times 5, like with an X. And well, I did 4, and it will draw 5 red boxes going, or 4 red boxes going to the east. And you can also combine the directions with the box. So you can go box green, if a different color if you want. North, up, west times 9. You can only go up to 9. Okay, so limit yourself up to 9. Oh, and you have to put an X, and it can only be up to, like 9. So X9. So just put an X right in front of the number. Like box, white, west, X3. I shouldn't say times because it's really X. It's like an X and the number. Yeah, there you go. Well, except you need a direction. So like box green, which direction you want to go? North, times 9, X9, I mean. So, and it should be on the screen. You'll see some of it up on there on the screen. But, yeah, so that's part of it. And after you spam up the screen, you make all your stuff any way you want. And you can change the background by typing BG, if it's hard for you to see what you're doing. And when you're done, you can actually save your contraption, whatever it is you made. You can make it. You can save it with the save command. You do SB save and then the name that you want to call the model, like a worm fiddle, right? And it'll save all the little pieces that you just made as worm fiddle. Now you'll see if I like move. I'm going to move myself east with the pause command, and north times like 8. Remember, 9 is as big as you can do with the X. And now if I want to bring back another copy of Worm Fiddle, I can do SB load Worm Fiddle, and it will load another copy of that thing I just made. So yeah, you can make models in here and then like reload them. That's where all of this scenery is coming from. Now you might wonder what kind of stuff you can make, like red, green, blue, white, whatever. What are the choices? Well, if you type textures, you'll see it will display them on the screen. It only displays them for a minute, but you can take note of which ones you want, or stop the stream and take a look, or something like that. They're changing all the time, so you might, like just check to see if there's new updated stuff. Some of them are like transparent, like there's a glass texture. There's an animated texture called media. If you do a box media, you'll see a little animated GIF on there. You can also put a box that uses your own profile picture as a box. You just do box me. So you do like box me down south X8 or something. I always say number below, but I did X7, and it'll draw a line of boxes made out of you, right? So yeah, so it'd be box blue, like north, X8 or something like that. And to find out what options you have, just type textures and it'll show you. Also, if you use like pause center. So pause center will move you to the middle. But then like box, it's always box. You always have to say box in front if you want to make a box, and then you say pause in front if you want to move. But you would say like box blue west times 5 or something. And the camera always follows the most recent person to make something. I know there's a bunch of extra crap on the screen right now, but you can clear it. If you type reset, it clears the whole screen. And right now, anyone's allowed to clear the screen anytime they like. You don't lose your position if you, like type pause north. You'll see that it picks up from where you were. Even if you leave for a couple of weeks and come back, you're still in the same place. Pardon me. You can load multiple copies of your thing. So like SB load, what was it called? Wormfiggle? And I'm going to do like pause west times 6. I'm going to SB load Wormfiggle again. You can just put Wormfiggles all over the place. And then if you, box. A block might work. Does block work too? Block, green. But you got to give it a direction. Like, it's box. B-O-X, green, east, or just E. You can also do E instead of east, times 9. So you have to give it a direction too. Like box, down, or box red. Sorry, box red. You do the like color first. So box red down times 9, and everything on the screen was made that way. So if you want to move, you can also move a model. If you decide like down times 9, and you decide to let's see. So yeah, box and then the color. So like actually, if you forget, you can always just type box. And it kind of reminds you, it gives you an example of the syntax, which is pretty handy. So it has like box, grass, or box, me, east, or whatever. So, yeah, like box, blue, box and then a color, and then a direction, and then how many of them you want. Unless you just want one, then you just say box blue. That'll just put a blue box where you are. If you want to replace it, you're like, oh, I didn't mean blue, I went red. Then you just do box red, and it'll just replace the box with the other box. And there's a whole bunch of models in there too. There's like, let's see. I think I have Professor Skinner from The Simpsons. There's actually a way to convert your profile picture to a block pixel art. I don't allow it yet. But I'm going to open up that feature too. So it's always box and then a color like white and then a direction like north. And then how many you want. Like, almost right, except it has to be box gray west times 5. So the direction is, the times whatever is always last. That's always the last thing. It's like X9 at the end or something. I should make it so you can put it anywhere. You know what? I'm going to do that. For you, Ryan, I'm going to modify the command so it doesn't matter where you put the X. You can put it right in the middle if you want. You can say like box X, but it doesn't do that yet. So that would be like box gray west times 5. But to make it easier on you, you don't have to type west. You do box gray W times 5. Or you can do box gray W. Oh, there's no gray though. Sorry, my bad. Don't use gray. We have to take a look at the textures. Those are the textures. There might not be a gray. I might not have made one. There's a lava. Lava's my favorite one. Just make everything out of lava. It looks freaking awesome. Lava and glass looks awesome. So like box lava west times 5. Yeah, so the times thing always goes last. So actually your command was perfect, except I was wrong. There is no gray. I'm going to make a gray too, just for you. I'm going to make a gray. I'm going to make it so that you can put the X wherever, because that's how it should work. Well, the good news is I did finally actually spec out a machine. 2 machines, in fact. An AMD machine. So it's either this AMD for 524, Ryzen processor, or it's a box lava. Oh, it's lava, Lava. But that was actually perfect. I'm just bummed that it didn't catch you. Like it should have. It should have said, that's close enough. Unfortunately, actually, box LAV would work because if it's close enough, it will. But lava's Lava. So darn, but that actually was perfect. Except for the LAVE. So it's only one decision left to make: Intel or AMD. Intel, AMD. Intel, AMD. AMD's $24 more, and they both come in the ugly butt case because yay! Oh, except no space after the X. I'm gonna fix that too. It shouldn't care if there's a space. Well, because there's textures that have X's in them. Yeah, so actually that's why I have it tell you. It says how many objects it made. Because I do that too sometimes. I accidentally put a space or something, and I'm like, it only made one object? It should have made 3. You know? And then you go, I put a space, you know. I do that too, actually. However, it does work if you put X3 or 3X. They both work. That's because someone else used to not put spaces, but I can't remember who. I think Mr. Fire used to put 3X instead of X3. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just make it so either one works. Additionally, you can load models. You don't have to make them all from scratch. There are like 50 some odd models in there already. And incidentally, I'm going to make you elite for that. For having made a line of so this, you're looking at the back end of the system. And this is how the system keeps track of users. And I have a user levels of access that work outside of the YouTube levels of access because I want this to be able to support multiple systems like Twitch and stuff, so I don't want to rely solely on YouTube's things. Anyways, bottom line is I determine when people have elite access, and so you now have elite access. You are elite. While I'm at it, I think I'm going to give you a score of like 1 billion. Why not? There's a score also that is used for some things, but will be used later to determine how many blocks you can make. I gave you 10,001 points. Okay, cool. You can check your points by typing score anytime, but they're not used for anything yet because the system's just in demo, but later it will determine how many blocks you can make. Oh, also, and try not to abuse it, but also you can now do X greater than 9. I think you can do up to 99. Don't do 99. It goes off the screen anyways. The edge of the world is something like 1,000. So a row of 10 boxes will reach the edge of the world anyways. So anything bigger than about 10 is pretty pointless. But if you want to draw a line all the way across the whole sandbox, you can now. So you do like box lava east times, 30. So now you can draw a line of 30 boxes. And some other stuff too. I can't remember. Every once in a while there's like commands that you try to run them and it'll say, oh, only elites can do this. And so you can do those. Also, you can use the run showcase command. If you just type run showcase, it will show you all of the models that are available, and it shows you their names. So you can use the SB run or SB load later to take a look at them, or to load them into the scene or whatever. It was not my intention that everybody. Box lava down. Yeah, you have to put box. I'm working on that, by the way. I'd be interested. Let me know, like in the I don't know, comments or something, what you guys would like in terms of syntax. I've tried a couple of different things. Like, should we use a slash instead of the word box? Yeah, so it's got to be like box, box lava down times 11. Yeah, like that. That is not easier to read. Oh yeah, there you go. You got it anyways. Also 10x works because there's that one guy that used to do x10 and that used to do 10x instead of x10. So when I do see people like, you know, I'm like, hey man, you're right. That should work the other way. When I do see that, I try to address it. So I've tried a couple of things for box, like using the slash or the period. But I'm also, I mean, I won't change it. I'll like support old syntax. So you can use box. I think you can also use cube if you don't like typing box. I don't know why. I think it started out as cube. So I'm going to make it so you can type dot, but that's not convenient if you're talking to your phone, you know, which, yeah, I have used this by talking to the phone. And when you're talking to the phone, it actually works better if you say box, because the phone can hear you better when you say box. So I want to be able to speak it out in English or also type it if you're like on a keyboard or on a mobile device. I want to make it easy to use. So, but it's difficult. Obviously, there's no mouse. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. But if you have ideas about that stuff, if you try using it and you're like, hey, I have ideas about how this should be done, then, you know, let me know. I'm definitely interested in those. So, okay. And I think I'm like done. Yeah. I'm done. It's special shout outs to our guest Ryan, and I think a couple other people dropped in too. That was way cool of them. I don't usually have any viewers at all. I'm aware that this is possibly one of the weirdest streams in YouTube, in the sense that it's not really clear what the heck you're supposed to do here. I get that. And, I mean, I'm also kind of doing that on purpose because I, you know, am trying to do new stuff. So yeah, it's going to be weird. It's going to be new. It's going to be like, hey, I don't understand. How come this doesn't have the stuff I'm used to? Because it's new. That's why we're trying to do a new thing here. And I'm still aiming for sometime in the next month or two at most. I think I said before the end of September, I would have the new version of the kit out. There's a kind of beta version out, but it's just so primitive. And it doesn't have any of this block building stuff, so the next version is going to be a lot more refined. You just run it on a $40 Raspberry Pi or an old junk Linux box too. You can run it on that, on an SD card, and that's it. You have that. You can run a 24-hour live stream with all these features and whatever else you dream up. So, so cool. Hey, again, check out the run command. The run command will, what does it do? It'll tell you how to run showcase. Yeah, just run the showcase. Yeah, just do run showcase and it'll show all the models that are available, and you can use the SB load command to do stuff. I'm really running out of energy at this point. I can tell. I haven't slept in a while. Oh, and you're not seeing my screen anymore. I was like showing the processing queue. I'm like, here's what the processing queue looks like. Oh well. Anyways. Okay, so next time you hear from me, I might announce whether I'm going Intel or AMD. That'll be controversial. And probably fix some of the syntax so it's not so easy to get, get messed up. I mean, really, if you type the whole command right and get one letter wrong and you have to retype it, that's exactly the situation I'm trying to avoid. So, because this isn't a mouse, right? So it's like if you make a mistake, you're going to have to retype the whole thing, and there's no, like, up arrow. You know what I mean? So the system has to be written in such a way that a small typo doesn't, like, force you to retype all of it. I understand. That'd be totally unreasonable. So, anyways, hey, on the top of the screen it shows what the names of the models are, and that way you can you can recall them later. So like if you want to load a bat, you just say SB load bat, SB space load bat. You just type SB space load and it'll tell you some stuff. I think there's something about that in the description. I don't know, it might be out of date. Anyways, there's the Blondie model that I did with that conversion tool I told you about. So it's not available yet, but soon elites will be able to provide an image and say, convert this to a pixel art in there. I know, it looks pretty cool when it's converted to pixel art. Okay, that's it for me. Signing off the vocals. We continue with our usually scheduled Drone Sound TV please do enjoy yourself. As I said, it's a demo site for the bot, so it's meant to be wide open. Do whatever you want to it. Pretty much nothing you can do that you know, I haven't planned on it doing. If you break something, then you just only showed me a bug that I need to fix before I release it. So thanks. But don't try to break stuff. You don't have to. It's pretty easy to break. You can always run reset. It resets the whole thing. And, you know, if you and there's macros. There's all kinds of crap. It's all in the docs. So have a good time, everybody. Thanks a lot. Again, shout outs to Ryan and other people who dropped in. This is Master Monkey, also known as Gary D. You can find me on Twitter, GARYD. Or Die Master Monkey. Saying as we say around here, if you like it, tell your friends. If you don't, tell your enemies. Stay true, stay low. Monkey out.